Hello. Alexa has the giggles, everyone.
I do. I need to pull it together. Okay.
Are we live? Can everyone say,
Yes.
can I get it confirmed that we're
Ooh,
live?
We're on YouTube too. I can see it.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's live. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Welcome,
Morning.
everyone, to the IT Hour. We got a pretty good one today. This is our main show on today's Friday IT Hour. I got Becky. I've got Alexa. I've got me, of course, because I'm speaking. So the IT Hour is a community show that is designed to have an open, fun conversation. So we have the chat. The chat is the most fun part here in the entire show, I think. We are live on YouTube. So if you are on YouTube and you're watching, come on over to Crowdcast, link in the description. That's where you're going to be able to engage and join the conversation. So come on over, hang out, have a good time, and enjoy some coffee, which my coffee, the fuel light just turned on. So I'm going to sip on that throughout the show so I can make it through the end. Let's go ahead and kickstart it. If you want to come on stage and talk and hang out with us, feel free to do so. Let us know. If you do come on stage, just know that your voice, your face, your likeness will be recorded. And so if you do not consent to that, then do not come on stage. But before we begin, hi, Mike, Debbie, Joe, Kyle, Steven, Nathan, James, Ryan, Carl, Gary, David, Thomas, Mubarak, Rob, Curtis, Keith, and Jarrett. That's the names that I have in chat. I promise my goal is to get us to a point where I can't do that because there's just too many names to read off. So see, chat. Let's see. Looking forward to them rolling a commercial as the beginning. We might do a commercial. Good idea. We need to record outtakes. We have a pretty funny green room conversation usually every morning. Rob, 74 ounces of cold brew. He's ready. All right. Thanks, Rob. Hello, Jarrett. James with a yo-yo. Fun fact from Rob. My YouTube recommends had your upcoming cast show up yesterday with a reminder prompt. So the algorithm is working. Way to go, YouTube. Way to go. I would say that the YouTube's algorithms is actually pretty darn good, in my opinion. But anywho, that's enough rambling on. We got a pretty easy show today, maybe 30, 40 minutes. So we won't take up too much of your Friday. We'll get you onto that weekend with some really fun stuff. So we're going to kick it over to Becky for our community update.
All right. Hey, everyone. As usual, I'm Becky Scott. I'm the Senior Manager of Community at Jumpcloud, and I'm here with your community update. I feel like we need a newsreel. We just start doing that. Yeah,
Back
over to you. Yeah. So over at Community, last call for the beta signups, we'll probably close that at the end of next week. So just giving you a heads up that if you haven't signed up, I know quite a few of you have, but if you haven't, you'll want to do that. And also watch for more from the PMs soon. They'll probably need some more info from you to enable those betas. They've got to ask for your org ID and some other things. So watch out for those coming soon and get in while you can. We've got 3 open betas coming up soon. Then, yeah, beta. I feel like that's a sci-fi thing. Beta. And also, if you haven't seen it yet, we added an IT hour section on the community. Whoop, whoop. And you can find replays. And Ben is starting to add in our show notes for good or bad. He's adding in all of the show notes every little bit. I'm like, no, really, it's all good. All the links and everything. Yep. So go check those out, and we'll put the link in the chat there.
Yep. So all the show notes, so all of the links, all of the articles, all of the mentions, everything's gonna. And if you're a community member with the community spotlight, we're gonna start adding you, atting in the community spotlight, so that way it's even there. So yeah. That'd be kind of fun.
It'll have the links to all those threads that we mentioned in the spotlight and things like that. So you can go check those out. And Rob says, I imagine the IT Hour newscast would end up mostly like the video for BNL's Odds Are video. Well, definitely the oddities. Yeah, it would be odd.
Well, I mean, I'm
It
here.
already is. What do you mean would be? It already is.
I'm here. Let's just be real about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Ben. It's all Ben.
Yeah, Ben's the weird one.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not me. And as always, if you ever need to reach out to us, you can hit us up in the Slack lounge. We've got our community email, which is community@jumpcloud.com. That goes to all three of us, and you can reach out that way. But there's lots of ways to reach us. We'll put those in the chat as well. And then moving on to our community spotlight, we like to call out some really cool things that people have posted. Fullgubby posted a really great thread on how they solved a situation with their Mac Jumpcloud service account app failed. They posted what went on and how they solved it. So go check that out. And thanks, Fullgubby, for that one. And then Ryan Bailey added system uptime to a PowerShell script share that actually makes it even more useful than the original thread. And I can say that because I'm the one that posted the original thread. So thanks, Ryan, for adding to that one. Hey, are you laughing, Ben? I hear that. You stop.
Never.
No, me? I wasn't useful.
Alexa has the giggles, not me.
That's why I'm on mute, man. I gotta stay quiet.
And then last one was K. Richard asked what TOTP hardware keys people are using in their environments. So if you haven't contributed to that yet, head on over and give your answers, because I think they could use a little more input there.
Yeah, super big shout out to those three individuals. I know Ryan is super active in our Slack lounge, always popping in and helping out. So big shout out to Ryan for his participation in not only our Jumpcloud community, but also on our Slack lounge. Slack lounge has reached, in my opinion, critical mass as far as community is concerned. People are posting questions. The community is answering questions. It's pretty much its own living, breathing entity. So love that. We want to bring that same type of feeling over to our community platform. So don't hesitate to go out there and post. The great thing, the difference is that on Slack Lounge, even though it's at a really good critical mass point, we only have 10,000 messages. So we're not going to be able to go back and find your answers. So if you can, try to move everything you possibly can over to the community platform, so that way it's archived and we can search it, we can pull it up later and be able to answer questions forever.
That's right. And not only can you search it in the community, but people can find it when they're searching in Google or Bing or whatever your search du jour happens to be. Maybe. I have seen some referrals from DuckDuckGo.
Nice.
So they're using it.
I like DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, like saying it, DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo.
Hey, remind me if we have time at the end. I have a really cool duck rescue story that I might tell when we're all done. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, but that's only if you follow me on Twitter, and very few people do. So
duck rescue story. Inbound.
Yes, duck rescue story. Okay, Alexa, it is your turn. Tell us about meetups.
Well, I feel like a duck rescue story would be a great way to go into the weekend. So looking forward to that. But yes, hello, good morning or good afternoon. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Alexa, community events manager here at Jumpcloud. I feel like these are all familiar faces. So welcome back to the IT Hour, and thanks for having me once again. So yeah, in the world of meetups, it's still an exciting time. There's great momentum. Our network continues to grow. So definitely make sure that you're a part of that if you're not already, as always with my shameless plug, and I will drop the link to our network in the chat so you can check it out if you haven't yet. But yeah, definitely, again, check it out if you haven't, because we are going to start publishing our May events coming up here. So I mentioned last week we had a really, really successful in-person meetup in Chicago. So we're looking forward to doing a lot more in-person events. So make sure that you, again, are part of the network so you get those event announcements so you can see where we are and when we'll be having those events. And then another exciting announcement in the world of meetups, we are continuing our expansion. So if you are joining us from Europe, you are in for some good news this morning, because we are starting our official EMEA expansion. So we'll be creating some new groups here in the next couple of weeks to include I don't want to say them yet because I don't want to give away the surprise, but we'll be expanding into 2 new countries and adding, or actually, I'm sorry, 3 new countries and 4 new cities. So very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to kicking those off and getting some more people involved in the meetup group. So yeah, very exciting. I'm super pumped to get that started.
Sweet.
Yes.
Might have to do some in-person meetups there in Europe. I might
Yes.
I
boy,
might take one.
I volunteer as tribute.
I might
volunteer as
take one
tribute.
for the team if I
Poor
really
Ben.
must show up and really help out.
I mean, I hate to pull rank.
Uh-oh. That's so big of both of you, though, to volunteer.
I know. I mean,
Thank you so much.
my passport is up to date and everything. I mean,
All right.
I'd hate to just sit there and
Just so selfless of us. So selfless of us.
Yeah.
know.
Just such good
Volunteer.
employees. Wow.
I know. Taking one for the team. We do what we can.
Yes, of course.
So we got a few people who are really looking forward to the duck story. Except for Rob misheard duck rescue as duck recipe. And Rob is already punning already. Release the quacking. Okay, Rob, listen. You're gonna need to stop. That's not funny. Get out.
That's the cold you're talking.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. All right. Thanks, Alexa, for your meetup. But it was a good pun. Yes, it was,
right,
Michael. So thanks, Alexa. All right, moving on to our minor releases from Jumpcloud. Again, minor releases here at Jumpcloud are not necessarily they're not minor in the sense where they're just like not important. It's just that they don't get all the fanfare. They don't get all of the go-to-market stuff and, the communication, whatnot. So I monitor things. I keep a pulse on all the releases, and then I talk about it here in the IT hour, which is nice because when I post that on our community board, you also get kind of like a running calculation and everything that's happening. But also, I just wanted to point out, if you didn't know this, in the Jumpcloud admin panel, up at the very top right-hand corner next to your icon name, where it has, I think it's called resources. If you click on that, there is an actual option that says like what's new. And if you click there, that actually has a lot of the new releases that had just went out as well. So just kind of keep, if you wanted to keep it up, or just keep a monitor on it as well. I watch things that might not be in there, so feel free to always tune into the IT hour and get your updates. All right, so real quick, staged user state. Yeah, this has been in early access for a while now, but we just officially released it. What this does is allow you to easily identify users needing to be onboarded, assign the resources they will require without granting access until their start date, and control whether a user communication is sent. Some of the benefits of this is that user onboarding, it puts the users being onboarded in a distinct user state, making it easy to identify them and complete the onboarding process. This allows the IT admin to assign these users all their required Jumpcloud managed resources without giving them access until their start date. This is especially beneficial for ensuring new employees and contractors alike have immediate and appropriate access to all the resources when they start, creating a positive day one experience. One-touch activation transitions the user from onboarding to activated, granting them access to all their assigned resources with a simple change of a user state. Communication control choose whether an email is sent to a user when they transition from staged to active. Logging, right? Specific and audible events for each user state. Track and report when a user is onboarded versus when they are active and have access to resources based on their user state. And this is a foundational launch. So there are going to be other things as far as automated onboarding that will eventually build upon this, which enables like scheduled activation for a specific date and time, and fully automated activation based on a specific data attribute, like a start date from your HRIS system. So the first step into that, be really nice. I can imagine, honestly, in my brain, I would love it to be able to have an HRIS integration. My HR professional has a start date, hit save. That user is just created in Jumpcloud with a start date. And as soon as that start date happens, they're turned on in Jumpcloud and they have access to all their resources. And that is just controlled 100% from HR. And all IT admin has to do is go in there and just make sure they have a computer and resources allocated in licensing for that particular user. And then they're off to the races. Very, very minimal friction. that'd be fantastic. We're getting there. Okay. If you are a MSP or a partner, the ability for our MSPs to self-serve invoice viewing and download via the multi-tenant portal was also released. So huge thing. This has been asked for quite some time from our partners and MSPs, the ability for us to allow for them to just go in there and download invoices and distribute those to their customers and know what they're billing. This was part of our PSA improvements, especially with like ConnectWise and that kind of stuff. So fantastic new release. And so if you're an MSP or MTP, good news for you in that front. Let's see, release the Kraken, but it was a good pun. Thanks, Michael, for having my back on the best jokes ever. I mean, that's stretching it, Rob. And then Keith says, do it, Ben, do it. What was that in reference to? I don't know. All right. If you didn't know, Ubuntu 22.04 was released, I believe, yesterday. But so just in time, the Linux Ubuntu patch management has been released by Jumpcloud. So our patch management enables our customers to easily schedule and manage all their Mac OS, Windows, and now Linux Ubuntu systems in a single console for greater visibility, automation, and reporting, with strengthening their devices' security posture and meeting their organizational compliance needs. Our new Linux patch policies for Ubuntu come just in time for the release. It just came out yesterday, in case you weren't tracking. And this will help our customers easily and quickly automate their updates to the new Ubuntu 22.04 long-term support release whenever they are ready. So good. So if you have Ubuntu, then you can upgrade to 22.04, or you can make them wait. That's the great thing about patch management. You can make them wait for a little while. But more about 22.04 in a second. This is kind of a cool release. Kind of flew under the radar just a little bit because it's a very small use case, but it's great to have. So the Jumpcloud agent support for Active Directory joined Windows devices. So it used to be that if you install the Jumpcloud agent on a Windows device, it would not do anything. It would see that it was resolving a DNS or it had a domain or domain bound, and it would just essentially not really run. The service would just bow out. But now, excuse me, if your organization has AD joined Windows devices, you can install the Jumpcloud agent on those devices and bring them into your Jumpcloud organization. Doing so enables you to remotely and securely manage the device, as well as take advantage of Jumpcloud System Insights features. So right now, the way that looks is that if you bind a user to a domain joined device, the binding will not take effect and you cannot implement multi-factor authentication on devices or send Windows policies from the Jumpcloud admin portal. However, if the device leaves the domain, the Jumpcloud agent will automatically bind the user to the device. So also, if a Jumpcloud managed device with Jumpcloud users bound to it joins the domain, those users' accounts will be suspended. This is expected behavior as user management is not supported on domain joined devices. So essentially, what it's allowing you to do is to deploy the agent, manage the system, get telemetry through System Insights, and basically be able to secure your devices even if they're off of your domain using the Jumpcloud agent. So really good improvement there, and that's really nice. So that way, if you're looking to extend or migrate or supplement Active Directory in any capacity, the Jumpcloud agent can help you at least manage those devices that are off your domain, and they're going to be off your domain for the foreseeable future. I didn't get confirmation on this one. Let me double check something real quick here. Well, you know what? I'm just going to say it anyway. Actually, before I do that, let's see. Okay. Yep. Push confirmed. Push this morning. This is hot off the presses. Jumpcloud Protect Push Multi-Factor Authentication for Radius. Yes. So yeah, Jumpcloud Protect is adding push for Radius, and customers can now use Jumpcloud Protect as a second factor for VPN, and or wireless access, Wi-Fi access. This release expands our supported authentication protocols. Ready? Take notes. There'll be a quiz. EAP TTLS PAP, EAP MS Chat version 2, EAP PEAP MIS Chat version 2, and MS Chat version 2, putting Jumpcloud Protect on par with other MFA solutions like Duo. So,
Oh wait, I missed one or two of those. Can you say that again?
nope, it's done. It's done. It was short term. It was short term swap space memory. It's done. We're not going back to that. David, with great progress on 80 support, looking forward to this continuing to grow. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. And then Rob with the PAHB.
Yep.
all the protocols, which is really nice because I think, before with TOTP, you really couldn't use, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was, I believe it was EAP that you couldn't use, no, PAP, you couldn't use TOTP on, can't remember right now. So now this is, no version 3 yet, Michael. No version 3. But this enables you to have multi-factor now on those protocols that prior you couldn't do TOTP on. All right. So back to what I was saying earlier about HRIS integrations with Jumpcloud. So we are expanding that at a rapid rate. So we've recently had some Bamboo HR work. We've already had workforce. And so now we've introduced Namely as another integration path that allow you to import new employee identities into Jumpcloud from the Namely app, which is great because now you can actually, you're starting to get closer to that workflow that I was talking about before. Additionally, of course, we do have the Bamboo HR on board, onboarding to manage employees that can automatically create, update, and deprovision employee identities in Jumpcloud from Bamboo HR using the Jumpcloud app. So ADP, I believe, is also on the
horizon.
On the horizon there, Keith. I do know that I think even internally we might be transitioning to ADP. I don't know 100%, but I do know that ADP is something that is on the horizon. The challenge, and I remember talking to some people in the product team, the challenge with some of those larger HRIS platforms is that they're pretty much, they have their security way they do things, and they're not going to budge for certain things because most of our stuff is going to rely on SCIM, and not a lot of those other big companies either support SCIM or have any plans to bring SCIM into their fold. They're still using things like LDAP or Active Directory or something along those lines because that's just how they are and they're kind of entrenched in that. So maybe we'll see. Be nice. Okay, so that kind of wrapped up all of the Jumpcloud product news. Moving on over to the hot seat. I don't know. That was really bad drums. Didn't even know if it came across, but it's there.
You got to do it on the desktop, I think.
There we go.
The camera shake.
All right, so if this is your first time here, welcome. I don't think we have any people here that are first times, but if it's your first time here, welcome. The hot seat is I go through some articles and some headlines that I like to curate throughout the week. I don't have a lot. I have maybe a handful. But Alexa is doing some amazing dark magic on the back end. And she's grabbing the ones that I think that are funny or that she thinks that is funny. And then we throw them in this document and then I create a poll and then we do some closing statements and then we go from there. So if you want to participate, if you're on YouTube, come over to Crowdcast and hang out with us. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to read off these news articles, and then we're going to have just a moment of time where we say funny things about them. And it can be on point, can be on topic, snarky, whatever the case might be, just to have fun with the news, with the IT news. All right, so here we go. And I said I was going to do something special today, and this is what I'm going to do. Ready? Although we've come to the end of the road. Yep. Apple
I'm so glad you did that because I saw that in the notes and that's the first thing that came to mind was that song. And Apple I would have resisted doing that. So I'm glad you did.
Apple is killing Mac OS server the place where Mac OS X began.
Oh, Michael, so mean. My ears are bleeding.
Apple announced today that it is formally discontinuing Mac OS Server after 23 years. The app, which offers device management services and a few other features to people using multiple Macs, iPhones, and iPads on the same network, can still be bought, downloaded, and used with Mac OS Monterey. It is also still currently available at its normal $20 retail price, but will no longer be updated with new features or security fixes. My ears are bleeding. I wear nice headphones. I might be regretting this now. Ben, stop. 23 years of being ignored. Yes, Michael, 23 years of being ignored. Hey, Siri, remind me to invite Ben to karaoke. Thanks,
Yes,
Kelly. Yeah, there we go. That's how, see, look, take notes, everyone. That's how you gas somebody up, okay? You gas them up.
You know what? I would have done this same exact
I just
thing,
said that,
Ben.
and
I would have sang it too.
Siri just reminded me. Darn it. And I still have a Mac OS server running. Rob saying it used to be quite nice back in 2008. That's funny. All right. So back to what we were talking about. Keep the chat coming. We're gonna keep moving, but then keep the chat moving. So we'll come back. Like I previously said, Ubuntu 22.04 LTS release was yesterday. Canonical has announced the availability. I can never say that right. Availability of the latest LTS long-term support version of its operating system, Ubuntu version 22.04, or Jammy Jellyfish, is the 36th release in the Linux distro history since 1994's 4.10 Warty Warthog, generally considered to have kicked the whole thing off. Canonical also announced today that the latest version of Ubuntu supports Azure Confidential Virtual Machines and deeper integration with Active Directory. Ubuntu 22.04 also marks the first LTS release with desktop support on the Raspberry Pi 4. So go get your Pis.
Now, wait, why don't we name our releases things like that?
Jammy Jellyfish,
Warty Warthog. I mean, come on. We need to be more creative.
That's a whole naming art. I promise you. I don't even know what we do. Alexa, make Ben stop. Best is either Alexa could do this. You
Alexa
dropped this,
muting.
Ben. I
like Alexa's comment, muting Ben Garrison.
At least they finally killed it instead of just continuing with benevolent neglect. I can never say those words. Benevolent neglect. Muting Ben Garrison. Thanks, Alexa. Appreciate it. Anymore, it should have just been renamed Mac OS Profile Creator. +1 for release names and Janky Jalopy.
Hey, now. We'll let Microsoft have that one.
Janky Jalopy. That's funny. Speaking of, all your release names could somehow be related to something like jumps. Jackrabbit, Kangaroo, Bean. That wouldn't be. Or Clouds.
Yeah.
Stratus. Stevie Stratus.
Yeah. Something in the atmosphere. Atmospheric.
Yeah, exactly. Our new release,
Hippity Hop. I used to not be able to say that when I was a kid. I couldn't say hippity, so I would say hippy hoppy.
That's the hip hop, the hippy to the hippy to hip hop. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna get kicked off of YouTube. All right, so
we're gonna copyright violations.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get a
takedown notice.
I'm gonna get a DMAC or a DMCA on that one. All right, Plex Discovery. So if you are so a new feature called Discovery brings services including Amazon Prime Video, Netflix, and Disney Plus together in a single interface. It might be enough for you to spend more time in Plex or perhaps to give it a go for the first time. So if you do not know what Plex is, it is an experience that you must have. Basically allows you, think of it as your own personal media center. And it gives you access to Netflix or Spotify, all the things you run for yourself. Obviously, you have to have subscription to those endpoints. You provide the video and audio files, and Plex serves them up to all your devices, whether it's a smart TV upstairs in your home or a smartphone on the other side of the world. So go check out Plex. Discovery is a really cool feature. You can tie in all of your streaming services, and now you have one little media center that can do your movies that you legally own that you put onto your own media server, as well as streaming services that you have subscription to, all in one that you can then pretty much access for wherever you want. Because if you have just a smart TV, then you can't access that stuff on your phone. So, Cumulus Kangaroo. Okay, serious time. That idea about the jumping names is pretty legit. Chrysler already had the cloud thing, though. Oh, okay. Kelly, Plex is glorious, and this sounds a lot more interesting. You have a non-streaming device since the TV app does the same thing, especially when Plex runs the Plex Pass lifetime on sale. And then Kelly just plus one what Rob said about the Chrysler cloud thing. All right, cool. Plex, I've used Plex. I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. Really gives you a lot of flexibility. You host it yourself, which is nice. And then you just tie in these different services. You get your video, you get your media, and you upload it. And then therefore you can just consume that media from anything.
Plex Pass, $75 or so for a lifetime. I'll have to talk to you about that offline and see why it's better or different if you already have like a Chromecast that already has access to all the streaming services.
So yeah, Chromecast will be great for your television, right? But then if you wanted to say do it on your phone or your iPad or other devices, you have to download each individual app. Whereas Plex, you just download one app and now you have it connected to all of your services. So think of like a Chromecast or a Fire TV or any of those, or even
you've got like 10
TV.
different apps.
Right. You now have it all in one, and you can put it on any device, any computer, anywhere with one application instead of multiple. So like Michael said, it brings all of the streaming services under a single search. This is for prop up your iPad and watch a movie at your desk. Or it could just be prop up your iPad and watch the IT Hour on YouTube live streaming while at your desk using your iPad on Plex. Plex app on desktop.
That's a good use case, Ben.
Was that a shameless plug? Chat, Rob, Plex integrates with your own media on top of the other services, kind of how the Google TV Chromecast ties to the services together, but not your local media. Good point. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Kelly. Anybody else? I don't need Plex for that. Okay.
For streaming, that's for streaming the IT Hour. She doesn't need Plex.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Also, Plex Amp is fantastic. I need to go check out Plex Amp. Actually, I saw a news article about Amp. Can you still use Winamp? And I think someone ported over Winamp. Remember Winamp? Winamp was so nice. It was so hot tech. I loved it. All right, moving on. Qnap advises users to update their NAS firmware to patch Apache HTTP vulnerabilities.
Oh no.
Network
More
attached
CVEs
storage appliance.
Incoming.
What?
More CVEs incoming.
Yeah, more CVEs, which is common vulnerability exposures. Anyway, thanks, Becky, for putting on my spot last week. I lost sleep for 3 weeks. I was like, it was 3 days. I was like, yeah, I should have known that. Anyway, network attached storage appliance maker Qnap on Thursday said it's investigating its lineup for potential impact arising from two security vulnerabilities that were addressed in the Apache HTTP server last month. The critical flaws tracked as Rob Chat ready CVE 2022-22721 and CVE-2022-23943 are rated 9.8 for severity on the CVS scoring system and impact Apache HTTP server versions 2.4.52 and earlier. So
wait, what is how high does the CVSS scoring system go? Does it go to 10?
It was a 10, yeah.
Ouch. 9.8 out of 10.
Basically just so the 22721 possible buffer overflow with large or unlimited limit XML request body, and then the 23943 out of bounds write vulnerability in mod set of Apache HTTP server. Both vulnerabilities alongside a couple other ones were remediated by the project maintainers as part of version 2.4.53, which shipped on March 14th. So we're a little behind on that. It's April, but if you haven't updated, which, hey, we're a month out, it's not uncommon to not be updated. So go update your Qnap. Rob, Qnap, nice hardware, such a show for their software. Let's see. For streaming that, I gave you a monitor unto yourself so I can keep working. Well, Kelly, no. What you gotta do? Kelly, you're doing it wrong. What you gotta do is you gotta take lunch break and then just sit there and enjoy a cup of noodles while watching the IT hour. It's all about the noodles. I'm the only one. Am I the only one who is perplexed? David, what are you perplexed about? But the puns today, the puns are just...
They're on fire.
Yeah, the puns are just running a pundit. Get it? No? Anyway. It's OTS NAS that I trust from Phrenology Lunch Break. I get paid to watch you guys. Aw. You gotta write a letter to your boss.
We get paid to do this.
All right. Moving on. Hackers sneak more eggs malware into resumes sent to corporate hiring managers. A new set of phishing attacks delivering the more eggs malware has been observed, striking corporate hiring managers with bogus resumes in an infection vector. A year after potential candidates looking for work on LinkedIn were lured by weaponized job offers. More eggs achieves execution by passing malicious code to legitimate Windows processes and letting those Windows processes do the work for them. The goal is to leverage the resumes as a decoy to launch the malware and sidestep detection.
Ouch.
So, yeah.
So ask for PDF resumes? Is that
actually, I think that's how they're getting them. Is
it PDF, not Word?
Yeah, they're sending them the PDF. So just make sure that you have a good antivirus on your email client, or some type of relay system for your email that scans for viruses before it gets to your inbox. So yeah, Michael, if they didn't cost more than my salary, I'd be all up on a TrueNAS scale device for my home lab. That is super clever and also very scary, Kelly. You know, I always say, I'm going to say this again, for all these hackers that are, and you see them with like Lapsus and all these different places, right? This Lapsus was what, a 17-year-old teenager out of the UK, or is. If they spent their time doing something good with all of their skills and creativity and ability to work around things, if they spent their time doing good stuff, just imagine the things that they could actually create would be amazing. But to each their own, right? I think. Well, but why? When your Lapsus, I think he had amassed like $17 million or something. It was ridiculous. Anyway, back to chat. That's super clever. Yep. Yeah. The TrueNAS hardware is pricey as all get out. It is pretty pricey. Has anybody downloaded the what is it? I think they have their own open source NAS operating system. I've been wanting to download that and play with that here in a second on a VM, but we'll see. All right. This one's pretty cool. A year in review of 0 days used in the wild in 2021. So I don't know if you know this or not, but Google has this thing called Project Zero. And what it does is it looks back at all detected and disclosed in the wild 0 days as a group and synthesize what they think the trends and takeaways are. The goal of this report is not to detail each individual exploit, but instead to analyze the exploits from the year as a group, looking for trends, gaps, lessons learned, successes, etc. If you're interested in the analysis of the individual exploits, please check out the root cause analysis repository. Again, all of these links are going to be on the IT hour on our community board, but I'll also throw it in chat, or if Becky can throw it in chat. The 2021 report showed the detection and disclosures of 58 in the wild 0 days, the most ever recorded since Project Zero began tracking in mid-2014. That's more than double the previous maximum of 28 detected in 2015, and especially stark when you consider that there were only 25 detected in 2020. They've tracked publicly known in the wild 0 day exploits on their spreadsheet since 2014. What they are attributing the uptick in these exploits to is there's better detection and better public disclosures of these 0 days in the wild. So you have the full report that you'll get as well. But basically what it's saying is that in 2021, companies had better detection methods for 0 day situations, as well as their disclosure of the public information for 0 day was also a lot better as well, therefore increasing the number of exploits that were detected. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think, yes, we had a really good detection systems happening in 2021. We also had a lot of companies disclosing this information. But I also think that we saw a huge uptick in organizations like criminal, cyber organizations, like raid forums, which we'll get there in a second. A lot of them came to be in 2021 because of the pandemic and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, and they're talking about true 0 days. I mean, we hear 0 day thrown around a lot, but they're actually talking about true 0 days where the company didn't know about them and people didn't know about them ahead of time, and it was, used as an exploit. It wasn't something that, we discovered a vulnerability, someone else discovered it. That's what they're referring to. I just actually learned about this project last week, so I hadn't seen it before, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The chat's still talking about NAS stuff, so they're in their own world. We're just gonna leave them sit there, just hang out and just talk about NAS.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I forgot what it was. I think I was looking at, what was it, TrueNAS? I think TrueNAS had a what was it? Download TrueNAS, which I think, it was TrueNAS Core, I believe. Core. I was gonna download TrueNAS Core, throw it on a VM, and then do some like LDAP testing and some other things just to see what it looked like. So yeah,
they're their own group now, so they're just having a side
we're
chat.
our own
It's
group
really
now. Okay,
That's
know
okay.
what?
That's cool.
Don't even need me. I'm out. I'm just gonna go ahead and just see you later.
Hey, y'all
I'm out.
you should start
bye. See you later.
should
Bye. See ya. Total lows.
see you next week. You guys can just start a TrueNAS conversation in the community. Just go on the lobby and start your own convo. Go for it.
All right. Not needed. All right.
Bye, Ben.
Bye, Ben. It's like bye, Felicia, but bye, Ben.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, bye then.
Sunny bike. Is that a sunny bike? It is a sunny bike. It is a sunny bike. The solarium is just really messy because it's all the kids use it. All right. So raid forums. This is a little late, so sorry, but raid forum gets raided. This was back on April 12th, so a little while ago. But the U.S. Department of Justice said today it seized the website and user database for Raid Forums, an extremely popular English language cybercrime forum that sold access to more than 10 billion consumer records stolen in some of the world's largest data breaches since 2015. The DOJ also charged the alleged administrator of Raid Forums, 21-year-old, I'm not going to say his name, of Portugal, with 6 criminal accounts, including conspiracy, access device fraud, and aggravated identity theft. So, yeah, they got shut down. That's nice.
You needed to.
That's nice. I don't know if my data was on there, but if it was, way to go, DOJ. You got a DOJ? Okay, okay. All right, so we're gonna create this poll now. Create poll. Funniest comment. A home lab like section of the community might not be too bad. They do have, what is that? I think there's a subreddit called self-hosting. I think that was kind of in that same. All right, so we got this one here. We've got that one here, and we've got that one. Aggravated ID theft as opposed to what? Asking nicely to theft? Yes. All right.
Well, it aggravates me, Rob. I'll tell you that.
Poll is live. We got 3 funny comments. We got Release the Quacken. A shame macOS server used to be quite nice back in 2008. Am I the only one who is perplexed? All right. Closing statements while we wait for everyone to participate in the poll. Get to polling, people.
And Kelly says, as opposed to pleasant and kind ID theft?
Excuse me. May I please have your login information for your bank account, please, sir, ma'am? I appreciate it. Thank you. Can I have your IDs? All right. So a couple of last announcements here. So we have a webinar, Patch Management Simplified, How to Build Efficiency and Secure Hybrid Work. That's Tom Bridge and Scott Reed, superstars in that space, on 428. So if you have not already gone and registered for that, I put the link in the chat. Go do it. I'll wait. I'm waiting right now. I'm waiting.
All right. Keep the votes coming. We got a tie.
All right. We got a couple of job openings here at Jumpcloud. We got a bunch actually, but the couple ones that I found that were still up in the air. We have our senior security engineer, DevSecOps. Really cool position. And we also have our technical support manager, tier 2, and partner support. So check us out at jumpcloud.com/careers. Go check out those positions. And yeah. And last but not least, I think this might be our last boot camp for a little bit. I think we're going to go back and change it up a little bit, but this is the last boot camp. So if you're in Anaheim, California, Tuesday, April 26th in Anaheim on the flight deck. I have no idea where this place is at 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. The boot camp will allow you time to network with other industry experts, learn best practices around marketing and sales, as well as gain the skills to elevate your business to the next level with Jumpcloud. So if you're a partner, come check them out in Anaheim, or buy a ticket. Go to Anaheim. Who cares? Just do it. All right, back to the chat. Please, sir, may I have another ID? Well, if you ask me nicely, from Michael. Okay, Michael, may I please have your bank account, social security number, and mother's maiden name, please? Ask nicely. Do I get extra points in the pool for having 2 of the 3 options being mine? No, Rob. In fact, no. It's funny. Keith Richard, Jobs. I might have the city for you born. Yeah.
May I have the city you were born in? Pretty please.
If I'm going to Anaheim, it's probably not for boot camp. What else is in Anaheim? What else is in Anaheim? Anything special in Anaheim besides the Mighty Ducks? That's all I know.
Baseball.
Is it Disney? Was Disney in Anaheim, or is it? I forgot.
Yeah, Disneyland.
Yeah, Disneyland. All right.
There you go, Kelly. Disney.
Angels.
Yeah, the Angels. I've been to a concert at Angel Stadium, but I haven't been to a ball game at Angel Stadium.
So, Rob, from what others have said about me, I'm pretty sure I wasn't born so much as just yeeted into the world via interdimensional trebuchet.
I love it. So you should have said that. That could have gone into the poll because that's pretty funny.
All right, we're at a deadlock between Release the Quacken and Am I the Only One Who Is Perplexed? So we're going to go ahead and remove that one, and I need everyone to vote. We only got 6 votes of 19 people. Come on. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. While we wait for the poll, you're just gonna sit here and watch me drink coffee.
Where's our Jeopardy theme song again?
Universal.
Okay, I can incentivize people to vote on the poll. I'll start singing End of the Road.
No, please don't. Or I'll sing it until until I get at least 10 votes.
Okay, wait. I'll tell the duck story.
Tell the duck story.
I forgot about the duck story.
The duck story. All right.
Duck
it is
goose.
now.
All right. It's now story time. All right. So Tuesday evening, a friend comes and knocks on my door and says, "There's an emergency. I need you to come with me." And this is a friend I trust quite a bit. So I'm like, okay. I just walk out the door. I don't have my phone or anything. And our community clubhouse is like right across the street, kitty corner from here. So I walk out the door, and as I'm walking out, he goes, there's this mama duck, and she's visibly upset because all of her babies fell down the storm drain. She's running around, she's quacking, she's like throwing up and everything. Like, she's so upset. She's just running around in circles and everything. And he's like, I can lift the grate, but I'm afraid I'm going to drop it in on them and hurt them. So I need your help. So we go over there. There's a neighbor on the phone. She's trying to call around and figure out what to do. She doesn't know, who to call. I look at him. He looks at me. We grab the grate and we drag this thing off. I swear this thing has to be like 150 pounds. Those iron grates are so heavy. So we pull it off. We look down. The floor of this thing is covered in baby ducklings. Like, I can't even count how many there are. I look down, there's a ladder. I'm like, okay, here we go. I start climbing down the ladder really carefully. I find a spot to get down. They scatter. And I just start grabbing baby ducks and handing them up to my friend, just like shoving them in his hand. I didn't even ask. I'm just like, here's a duck. And I start grabbing them one, two at a time and giving them to him. Some of them ran back down into the drain pipe, into the culvert, and ran away. But then they started slowly coming back out. And I'm just like shoving ducks at him as fast as I can. And we got most of them out. And then one just like runs down under to where I can't even get to him. And Mama Duck takes off with all the other baby ducklings and starts to go across the street. So the one that's left goes back down under the drain, which goes under the road, under the street. And I can't get to him. And meanwhile, Mama Duck takes the babies across the street and they can't get back up over the curb. So my friend has to go help them up over the curb. I run over. I can see the baby duck through the other drain and I can't get to him. And then he runs back the other way. So I have to go back across the street, get back down into the storm drain and chase him around like 3 times before I finally caught him. I hand him back up to my friend. My friend has the duck. He jumps out of his hands. And my friend and the neighbor are chasing him around the parking lot like mad people. I'm like, oh my God, this is the fastest baby duck I have ever seen. It's just like they're chasing it. This woman has a sweater. I'm like, throw your sweater over him. Just throw it over. So she does. And I run over and I pick him up from under the sweater again. And this time I'm holding on to him like, you're not getting out of here, little guy. I take him all the way over across the street to the rest of the family and put him down. He runs around in circles again. I'm like, you're not getting away this time. He hears his mama and then he goes over and joins them and they all waddle off. And we're like, whew, okay.
Well, you know what? That
10. There were 10 of them.
That teaches you not to play Beekaboo at the quack of dawn.
Well, it wasn't the quack of dawn, so.
Well, they were playing
Yeah.
Beekaboo at the quack of dawn.
Yeah. But man, I'm telling you. And then we still had to put the grate back on, which I thought was going to kill me.
Jared
That deserves more than a side, Jared. That deserves a.
Jared,
they can't go
great.
over an obstacle like a curb. They can only duck.
David, sounds like you did a great job. Was it a duck fling? So you really did release the quacking from Rob. Jarrett, you know the ducks at the park are free. You can just take them. Wow, really? David, well, yeah, they can go over an obstacle like a curb. They can only duck.
Sounds like you did a great job. Grate.
Yeah. Kelly, Ben, you were uninvited from Carlton worked. What?
Karaoke.
Oh, Carrie. Oh. Whatever. Ben, doors behind you. Actually, well, there is a door behind me. Literally.
Yeah.
It's to a closet.
Alexa, mute Ben again.
Yeah. Ben, you were uninvited from karaoke. Ryan with the death sum. You know what? I'm just catching shade. So anyway, the winner of today's IT hour hot seat is Release the Quackin' by Rob. So thanks, Rob, for participating and everybody else for participating today. That was a lot of fun. Had a good time. It actually did take longer than we thought it would, so that's pretty awesome. The puns were great. Yeah. No,
Michael.
No, Michael,
Sorry,
you can't
Michael.
will it. You can't will this into existence.
I won because I got to rescue 10 little duckies. So yeah.
Yeah.
And Rob, you should thank me because of my story, I enabled you to win. So
yeah, you inspired the non-punny fun times.
So now I expect you to sing You're the Inspiration to me. So
alrighty, well, let's go ahead.
Waiting for that.
Well, let's quack this case and head on into the weekend. Thanks for the laughs. I quacked up. And thank everyone for coming to the IT hour.
I don't want to hear another peep from you, Ben.
Those are delicious. I will debate that. But everyone have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for coming. We'll see you back here next week. Next week, actually, I believe, let me go double check here. I believe
29th?
next week we've got a really nice panel of people coming on to talk about Linux patch management. So I believe we will have the VIP crew with Tom Bridge, Scott Reed, and Josh Rowland, which they've all been here before. So come hang out and talk about Linux patch management with the all-stars of patch management here at Jumpcloud. So again, have a great weekend. Thanks for showing up. Check us out on YouTube. Check out the show on our community page as well if you missed it. And yeah, take care.
Bye, all.